Tucci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Tony, welcome to Gov.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. You're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Hello! Do it like that.
Hello!
Yeah, like that.
Hello!
Not like that.
No, that was awful.
The one you did when I wasn't.
Hello!
Okay, save it for when it's on.
Sorry.
God, you know, I turn off the microphone, and you're like, gold. I turn the microphone on, I get ah. Seriously, ready?
Hello! That was an idiot. Damn it. Hello!
That was it.
All right. This is the one. Hello! Hello!
Hello!
Hello! Hello! Hello!
Hello!
Hello!
So, yeah, do it like, hey! Alright, you ready from hey?
Hey!
Now.
Hello! Hey!
Knockem dead. Comedy show.
Hello!
Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Thanks for tuning in today. Let me fix that. There we go. Now we can see that handsome scowl. Hey, it's the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, New York on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, a Facebook page, a YouTube channel. Follow the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're going to watch on Facebook, we appreciate it, but come on over to YouTube because that is where we're monitoring the comments. So if you like to comment and you want to be part of the conversation today, want to hear your name read and all that good stuff, go over to YouTube and please share this show on all your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Michael is here. John Rusciello, the dynamic 1.5, is doing the Gov's Comedy Show today. Which one's a half? Am I only a half because I'm missing
you're
limbs?
the full chip. Oh, that's not bad.
What did you just say? I'm the full chip?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's
I didn't know it came out like gibberish like
Yeah, I thought you were stroking out.
that.
Like John did yesterday when Diane was here.
He told me.
He tells everybody.
Yeah.
John, I did it again. I forgot the fire hydrant.
Thank God. Really, did Lisa find that other thing at a garage sale?
I think you said that last week, too.
I did.
Yeah. What is your issue with that thing? Why do you hate it so much?
It's gigantic.
And it's got nothing to do with you. You've never even touched it. You've just looked at it.
No, I don't want to touch it. I've heard that before.
John tells me you like to touch gigantic things. So you're, in 2 days' time, you're heading over to see John.
Yes, I am heading down. You know, it's funny. He said to me, he called me on the way here. Right?
Oh, there's more? You said it's
There's
funny.
more. It is funny. So I'm kind of a dick when it comes to the English language. He will tell you that. So he goes, are you heading down to Tony? I'm like, well, I'm actually heading west. So you just said, what did you just say? I'm going...
You said going down. I think I said, are you, in 2 days' time, you're heading over...
Heading over.
Heading over?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're heading over. What do you mean heading over? I'm actually heading south. You understand how very literal. Sagittarians are very literal.
I'm going to smack you right in the face.
Go ahead. It's all right.
Well, heading over, you're flying, because you're going to be over the ground, because you're flying south to Florida.
South. South.
But you're flying, so you're going to be over everybody.
Over what?
Over the ground, over the earth, over the states, over the clouds.
It's actually you're flying over the ocean. That's how the flight pattern is when you go to Florida.
All right. But you just said it. You're flying over the ocean. So you're heading over. You just, because you used the language yourself, you just verified what I said.
Heading over? No, it's like I'm heading over to my friend's house.
Why? Why? You're driving on the ground if he's nearby. What? You're not
See,
over anything.
Exactly.
But when you're in the plane, you're flying over.
So let me ask you a question. You and Lisa, you're having a lovely dinner party at home.
Okay.
Right? And someone says, where's Sammy?
Yeah.
And I know anybody on Long Island would say, well, she's inside.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
But she may be just to be in her bedroom. Why can't people just say, she's in the bedroom? She's in her bedroom watching TV. Every Long Islander says, they're inside. We're inside already. No good?
What's the matter with you?
There are many things, but but the English language. I was getting my nails done last night with Trish, right? It was lovely. So the gentleman that was doing her nails says, wow, there's a lot of different dialects. This is really not grabbing you, is it?
Like, hey, check out the fairy getting his nails done?
Look how beautiful my nails look. Isn't that nice? I'm going on a trip south to Florida.
John, here it is. You have to put up with this for what, a week?
Yeah.
You know how depressing this is. Yesterday it was a fantastic show. Diane was the star of the show.
Absolutely.
You two bonded together. You had a great show.
I like to bond with her.
Sorry. Listen, that's without saying. Anyway, I get all excited. I watch your show every day religiously. I change doctor's appointments just to watch your show. And after yesterday, I got to turn the iPad on and look at this fucking mug. Could you believe this?
Mere you.
Could you believe this? If you notice my comment, if you look at my comments, oh God, look at that puss. He gave you a look.
Oh.
Like to say, good morning, Mike is here. He gave you a look, like
totally.
It's just, but I don't have to worry about this when he comes down to my house for the simple reason my wife will be here. She took a few days off, and she'll straighten him right out.
Nice.
She'll straighten him right out.
Good, because somebody needs to straighten him out.
No, but she's one of the she's one person that really understands me. She gets me. She understands.
That doesn't say a lot about her.
Listen, she's a cancer nurse. She understands everybody. She sees death all her life. What, are you kidding me? She's 35 years a cancer nurse. What did she? Bone marrow transplant. What did she say? People go up to her. They have 2 minutes to live.
And it's still probably easier to deal with them than with this mug.
Exactly right. You have no idea. All right. You know what she says to me? This is the gospel truth. She says to me, find out what they like to drink. I said, I know what they like to drink. He drinks Diet Coke. No. Find out what Trish likes to drink. And I'm making sure I stock up on my Hershey bars. I said, forget about the Hershey bars. He doesn't eat too much chocolate. He doesn't want to get fat. So that's when he was at depressed days. He was eating Hershey bars. Now he doesn't want to eat any Hershey bars because he wants to be svelte for Trish.
Good word.
Yes, svelte.
Tell him, by the way, she drinks a lot of coffee.
Trish drinks a lot of coffee.
Well, so there's always a coffee pot in my house. I'm an avid coffee drinker. My wife is an avid coffee drinker, but I drink coffee all day long.
Now,
but I drink decaffeinated coffee. All right, now. Oh, yes, I undergraduated myself to the decaffeinated story.
John, is this the first time you're going to be meeting Trish?
Yes.
Yes. I'm guessing the first thing you're going to say to her is, what in the world is she thinking?
Well, I've already had that conversation with her on the phone.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, she's still mesmerized. She hasn't been with him that long.
True. It
takes about a year or two to get destroying Kaplan. But right now, she's mesmerized. She thinks he's a great guy. He's a wonderful man. He's this, he's that. Wait 6 months, 7 months. It's all over. All right. I will bid you a fond adieu because I love to watch your show.
Thank you, pal.
And like I said, now, Michael, I have you next Wednesday. You're going to be in my house. You're not going to be on the show, right?
No, we're going to call Tony from your place.
You're a dick. You're a dick. All right. You should. Maybe we could. Hey, maybe we could Skype. All right, from my house.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to go on camera. Not that I'm going to go on camera, but maybe you and could do this show Skyping.
We can. I could.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I could set up a Zoom. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I would love that actually, but I will make him at least show your face at least quickly.
We'll see.
And I want, and it'll be perfect because I want to see what this nurse looks like. So When she walks in, I want Mike to put the phone on.
Don't even mention that crotchety old piece of. Oh my God, he drives me fucking crazy. Let me tell you what happened. And again, I don't want to take your time.
No, it's fine.
But the reason why she doesn't like the Gov's Comedy Hour or Gov's Comedy Show, because she comes on a Friday, and I was watching it, and Andy was talking about condoms and prophylactics, and she went completely nuts. She says, I don't have to listen to this. Please take that off. Plus, she sticks big needles in me, and I don't want to get her upset. All right, so just but that's Andy's fault. That's why I can't. She's a miserable bitch. But my physical therapist, on the other hand, now that's a different story. She's in Diane's category.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Mike will see her too.
Ooh.
I bet he will.
Yeah, well, now, listen, he can draw his gun, but he can't pull the trigger. Just remember that.
Can you say one thing
He
nice?
can draw his gun, but he can't pull the
Say
trigger.
one nice.
Love you, guys.
Oh, bye.
Okay.
Too late. He
it's too
left.
late.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he was gone. Andy Plagiano says, yes, you're welcome. From there, he's traveling as the tip of the airplane. As you fly over
South
to Florida.
What do they say about the birds when they fly for the winter?
They fly south for the winter.
Thank you. It's not they're flying over.
But they are. That would be correct, too, if they did say that. Sometimes people say that. Look at the birds over there.
How about great prank? Walk in with your friend Sammy or Zach or Lisa and just say, just out of the blue say, look at the dead bird. Because it happened to me. A friend did it to me. And you automatically say, where?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll try it.
Try it. It's hilarious.
True story, when I was in 8th grade or 9th grade, had an English teacher, and a kid said, hey, was looking out the window, and the kid said, hey, it's snowing. And I swear to you, because the teacher was looking down at his desk, I swear to you, he went, where? Like he just, like he didn't look out the window. He just looked up and said, where?
Like it was snowing in the classroom?
Yeah, so we were cracking up. So let me ask you about this trip. So I want to get, how long have you known John?
4 or 5, about 5 years now.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
You guys became that close that you're going down to see him?
Instamatically.
Oh, wow. All right, so I want to get this timeline. Because Adam Carolla, you know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
He's playing Governors this weekend.
Mm.
And then just yesterday, a story came out about him. He's joining the Exodus from California, and he's taking some party shots at the sociopathic Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. He was, he was saying that it's horrible in Los Angeles where he lives. He grew up in L.A. His comedy roots were made in the city, but Carolla is insisting that it's time to move. I have twins, and they're in their senior year of high school, and I don't want to pick up and, tear up their roots. So people ask, when are you leaving? And I go, I'll be attending their high school graduation in a U-Haul. He says that Texas, Florida, and the Carolinas and Tennessee are among the 15 places he's considering moving to out of desperation of getting out of California, a move he's officially decided on. This is not a retirement thing, like I want to go to Maui or Arizona or anything like that. I just have to leave California. I don't even know where I'm going. This isn't me cheating on you for another woman. This is, I hate you so much, I'm moving into a motel room and not dating for 6 years. I say to a lot of people, when's it end? When do we change course? And the number one answer is we haven't bottomed out yet. We're getting near it. We haven't totally bottomed out. And then I say, why is it necessary to bottom out? It's like saying, I was looking for some stuff in my son's room and I found some syringes and a bag of heroin, but he hasn't flatlined yet. I have not walked in and seen foam coming out of his mouth or him convulsing. And you go, yeah, I know, but why don't you get him in some treatment now? And you go, because his heart hasn't stopped yet? So we don't have to bottom out. We know where we're going. Let's reverse course. California and Los Angeles can't do it because of Gavin Newsom. The traffic is a mess. Homelessness is a mess. Mental issues and drug addiction are a mess. So I'm connecting all this because, so that's Adam Carolla, and he's coming to Governors this weekend because you did the same thing. You actually did leave Long Island.
I did.
Didn't you?
For a year.
All right, so the answer is yes.
2007.
So what made you leave?
Not as harsh as what he says.
Okay.
But some of it.
So you felt that way about Long Island?
Very well.
Or New York in general?
New York in general. I will tell you, I hate Long Island.
Really?
I hate Long Island. The only thing I like about Long Island are the beaches. And if you go out east. But as you know, you go out east on the weekends, it's just as heavily trafficked here.
Right. That should have been your campaign slogan, by the way. I hate Long Island.
That would have been.
Yeah,
maybe I would have won.
Imagine. That was the old what was that club out in Gilgo? What was that guy's Matheson?
Oh, OBI.
OBI.
Yeah, OBI.
Get out of New York before it's too late.
Remember he had the billboards going?
Oh, that guy was a pisser.
Oh yeah, he was hysterical.
And is he dead? He might be dead now, right?
I hope so. They buried him.
Okay.
You walked into that one.
Yes. So, all right. I'm sorry. I'm talking too much.
I've never been a fan of Long Island.
Really?
Never. Even since I'm a little child. I was born in California.
Yes, I did know that. I forgot.
I was born in California.
Right.
Right.
And but you came here when you were how old?
Almost 10.
Oh, was that late?
Yeah.
Where in California?
San Pedro, which is on the coast of L.A.
Is that? Oh, so that's not near San Fran.
Oh no, it's like 5 hours away from San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because when I was 5, I spent some time in San Fran.
You did?
When I met my father, yeah. Yeah, that's where he lived at the time.
That's a conversation that you and I have never had in all the years we've known each other.
That's pretty much the whole thing. I was 5. I barely remember it. There's not much to tell.
Wow.
All right, so you, what? Wow, so you were 10. So, wow, I didn't really, for some reason I thought, I knew you were born there, but for some reason I thought you were still a baby when you guys came over here.
No. There's some things I remember about California.
Your parents were from here originally, yes?
No, my father was born and raised in California.
What brought them here?
My mother moved out there because my grandfather was on the lam. I mean, he just wanted to move to California. And they met in a department store, my parents.
Really?
And it's a very long story, but my grandmother and my Aunt Marie moved back here, and we followed suit. Why, I have no idea. My mother, about 15 years ago, said, I regret moving to New York. We would have had a better life in California.
Really?
Just the four of us, yeah.
Well, I'm assuming she wanted to be closer to her family? But she regretted moving closer to her family.
Yeah, so what does that say?
Wow.
Yeah, very dysfunctional.
Yeah, a little bit. And hating it from a little, all right, so when you're 10, you're old enough to remember what you had. So I guess, you were like, oh, this isn't, California was better?
Well, we lived in Anaheim. So you have to understand, we lived near Knott's Berry Farm. We lived near, Knott's Berry Farm?
I don't.
It's a huge amusement park.
Still there?
Still there.
Oh.
We were 5 miles from Anaheim, the Angel Stadium.
Nice.
We were 5 miles from Disney Land. And Disney World is in Florida. Disneyland is in California.
Okay.
Little trivia. Did you know Disneyland is so much smaller than Disney World? It fits in the parking lot of Disney World.
It's that much smaller?
It's that much smaller.
Wow. I knew it was smaller. I didn't know it was that much smaller.
It's a very boring trivia.
It's every day on the show.
But I remember going to these places. I remember the beaches in California are a million, my opinion only.
Sure.
Million times better than New York beaches.
You're the color of the ocean today.
I am the color of the ocean.
I actually was wondering what Fremder would compare us to today. And so you're the ocean, and I'm. Oh, did he actually say it already?
He said.
I didn't say it.
It looks like he's watching two belly buttons having a conversation, which is very funny.
I totally missed it.
It's very funny.
That's hilarious. Guys, cut it out. You're both pretty, says Vicky. John says you two are very close. I feel like I'm watching two belly buttons having a conversation. I felt I looked like peanut butter this morning with this shirt. That's what I was predicting in my head that Fremder was going to say. You look like a jar of peanut butter. All jokes aside, Mike is one of the greatest guys I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, says John. Wow. Oh, Joel Eichner is back. Mama says alligators are so ornery because they got all those teeth and no toothbrush. That's just the beginning. I don't know who this is. He started watching yesterday. At least the first time I saw the name, or that I can recall, and the comments were like that the whole show.
Wow.
Making no sense whatsoever. So, yeah, we're in for a treat today.
It's a small world after all. You're very right, Mr. Fremder.
So, do you feel you never really acclimated?
No, my Aunt Marie, who I was very close to, she always told me, even as a small boy, you hated it here.
Wow.
I think it was just always too crowded here.
California's crowded, though, too, isn't it?
Now it is, but where
it wasn't back then?
Not in Anaheim, no. And we were always at, like, Knott's Berry Farm or Disneyland or the beach. You know, it was very different in the late 60s, early 70s when I was there. Very different. Now I don't think I would move to California, no.
Okay, yeah, because where you moved to, like...
Up in Maine?
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't get much...
It was
more
beautiful.
Quiet, yeah.
No, but Portland, Maine is busy. But we were about 30 minutes north in Brunswick, Maine, and it was beautiful.
And that's why you went, because it's quieter and probably
quieter, better way of life.
Yeah,
much better way of life.
All right, so then what brought you back? After only a year,
I got a great job offer back here with the town of Huntington.
Oh, okay.
And ex-wife at the time missed her children and this and that, a million things. So everything fell into place, and I got that job offer, and I came back.
And that's when you met John, right? When you came back?
I met John in like 2019, 2020.
So is that a yes or a no?
Street. Yes, no, maybe, possibly.
When you moved back from Maine?
No, it was like 2010. No. 2009, because I went back in the reserves and I went to Iraq for almost 2 years.
That was after Maine?
Oh, after Maine.
So you moved to Maine in 2009?
2006.
Oh, wow. That was almost 20 years ago?
Yes. 2006.
Holy crap,
came
I
back
didn't realize that.
I started May 19, 2006 with the town of Huntington.
Okay.
And
Holy
4 years
moly.
later in Iraq, and then I met John 2019 or so, 2019. 5 years we know each other, roughly.
And so wasn't he your next door neighbor or something?
Diagonally.
So who moved? What, you guys moved at that time, and or did he move into?
No, Barbara and I bought the house on Swan Lake Drive in 2011 when I came back from Iraq.
Right.
He moved in several years later.
Oh, okay.
And just I don't even know, because he lived like across the street and like 3 houses down. But we just got to, because we had a common friend who's a scumbag.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah. And,
unless you're talking about me, I don't really know. No. See, I thought John lived in that house for years and years and years.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No.
Oh, right, because he was a Bronx.
No, they lived somewhere.
Bronx,
they lived in a condo prior to that home.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we're getting corrected?
I guess so. Hi there.
Let me tell you the story. He's fucked this up completely. I mean, Jesus. How I met Michael. Very simple. Mike and I had an acquaintance that used to come to my house. My wife was redecorating the whole house from top to bottom. She gutted the whole entire house. We were putting in kitchens, bathrooms, the whole 9 yards. And this mutual friend of ours, who's no longer a friend of ours, I wouldn't even call him a friend. He's a piece of shit.
Oh.
But he and Mike can attest to that. He stops Mike. Mike had a dog, about a 3.5 pound dog that he used to walk up and down Swan Lake Drive. Never saw the guy before in my life. And he says, Mike, you got to come in here. You got to see the work this guy's doing on his house. It's amazing. Oh, my God, the money he's spending in the house. So Mike comes in, all right, but he came in like he was a second story man. Like he didn't know what to do. And he goes, "Hi, my name is Michael. I'm your next door neighbor." I go, "Hi, how you doing?" You know, and he says, and he says, "I'll be right back. I got to put the dog away." He was, and the dog's name, I think he's dead now. God rest his soul, Paulie. Is that correct, Mike? Was
I
it
think
Paulie?
he's still. It's Paulie. I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah, no, maybe no. It wasn't Paulie then. No, it wasn't Paulie. It was
Oh,
the
it's
other one,
Roxy.
yeah. Roxy. Yeah. And he said, "Oh, excuse me, I got to put away the dog." So I said, "Okay, put away the dog." And he walked down. We were 6 houses away from one another.
No.
He walked down and he came back and he looked and he started critiquing the work we were putting in wood floors and a kitchen, and he was asking me all kinds of questions. I know nothing about construction. I know nothing about wood floors. I had no idea what he was talking about. And I said, "Listen," I said, "whatever they're doing, they're doing. The only thing I know is costing me a fortune to do this, but my wife wants it, and that's it." And that's how we became friends. Walking the dog. Then I used to see him with his wife Barbara walking the dog, and I said hello, and he would not talk to me because Barbara wouldn't allow it until Barbara got to know me. All right, so that is true. You were shy. You finally walked over and said, because I always hung out in my garage. It's a Bronx thing. We always hung out in our garages, and I was in my garage and I was smoking my cigars, and I was in pretty good shape in those days. All right, and we were talking about we had the same landscaper, and we got to talk about lawns. We got talking about this, and that's how we became friends. That's the story. Am I correct, Mr. Kaplan?
No.
What do you mean no?
There's only one correction I'm going to give you.
What?
Pete, the way Pete introduced me to John. He was saying, "Oh, you got to meet this guy. He's really cool. He's got a lot of connections. He knows a lot of people. He's a really cool guy." He made no mention of the inner workings of the construction. But with
well, maybe that's true. But he used to come in every day and look at the progress of the house. But that's all.
Well,
I'll get back to you, sir.
Money, that's why.
Goodbye. Any questions? I know I hang up quickly, but any questions you want to ask me before I hang up?
I actually do have a question. But it's not about you meeting Mike.
Okay, so talk to me.
In the Bronx, did you happen to know anybody, any Celentanos or LePews?
Did they? The Celentanos. Did they come from Fordham Road?
That I'd have to find out.
LePew, I know a Joanne LePew, but it could be Tony. I was born and raised there. I was a cop there for 13 years, and since I moved out of Florida, but I used to go back to my own neighborhood, two or three times a week.
I'll have to talk to my mother. My mother's family came from the Bronx, and I think she was around 4 or 5 when they moved out of there. But there was still some family left over that when I was a kid we used to, head out there a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, well, if you remember the neighborhood, because don't forget in the Bronx we were segregated. I don't want to use that word, but we were segregated by neighborhoods. Well, so if you came from Fordham, Pelham Bay, Marble Hill, Riverdale, whatever neighborhood you came from,
and probably a lot of just stay away from that Rusiello guy. That was probably really the story.
I was very popular. I got thrown out of a high school. I was very, very popular. Goodbye.
Goodbye. That's the example he gives for being so popular. Thrown out of a high school. All right, let me read some comments here.
Yeah, there's some funny. That guy Joel said, "Do bald guys use sunblock on their heads while going outdoors?" Do you know I've never used sunblock in my life?
I've rarely used it myself.
Very rarely.
So all right. So my mother just commented. Joanne is Joanne is a relative of ours.
Celentano.
No, that would be LePew, right, Ma? Yeah, that would be LePew. Yeah, that was my grandmother's maiden name, LePew.
Really?
Yeah. I heard you.
So
I
you
heard
had
you with
French
your
in you.
peppy. No, she was Italian. Well, actually, believe it or not, whenever you ever hear the stories when people coming off the boat for whatever reason, some people had their names changed.
Yeah.
The name was actually LeBeau with a B.
Oh, LeBeau.
And then for some reason it got changed when they had to fill out the papers. They changed. It was changed to
That's pretty
LePew.
cool.
Okay.
I like it.
But yeah, Joanne is Joanne's a cousin of
Your mother? Well, of you too.
Joanne's parents are my mother's first cousins. So that would make me and Joanne second cousins? I don't know. Yeah. So look at that. Maybe John knows my cousin Joanne.
But who's the Salentanos?
That's my mother's father. I never told you that.
No.
You ever go to the supermarket and the Celentano frozen?
Yeah.
Now, we're not sure. We're not sure if it was my grandfather, my mother's father, or one of his brothers. He was one of, I think, 8, maybe? I forget. He was one of a lot of kids. We're not really sure if it was him that got the call or one of his brothers got a call from somebody out of New Jersey who claimed to be a cousin. He said, I'm doing all this research. I'm looking for family. I'm starting this food business, and I want to see if any family want to, put some money into it, and we'd all be partners. I want to keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't know if this was my I grew up thinking this was my grandfather. I just, within the past few years, heard that it might not have been. It might have been one of his brothers that got the call. They didn't know who this guy was, so they thought it was some kind of scam, and they turned it down.
Wow.
I'll tell you right now, if they said yes, I would not be sitting here talking to you right now.
You.
I remember on The Sopranos, they actually mentioned it once.
Did they?
Yeah, they, what's his name? Patsy.
Patsy.
They showed Patsy walking down the street, and he's on the phone. He goes, yeah, I got the Celentanos. That's my whole story. But yeah, that's, so, all right, Fremder, in California, you can get a great deal on 2-bedroom tent off the side of the road. Nice yellow shirt. I'm about to yield. Oh, you read that one? Fremder, you look like the yellow cab I took to the airport the other day. Joel, I went to the Sea Lion Caves in Oregon. That was a pretty cool thing to see. That's where my father ended up. He lived in California. He lived in Idaho and I think Washington State, but then when he died, he was living in Oregon. Oregon, I don't know. What's that?
Your father died? I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
You didn't know that either? Really?
No, we never spoke
Hi,
about
I'm Tony. Nice to meet you.
Nice, Michael.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I met my father when I was 5. He died when I was 10. I never told you that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
My father was not in my life one bit.
Wow.
I spent 2 weeks with him in 1975, and that's the only time I ever saw him. It's the first and last time I met him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he was young when he died.
Oh, yeah. He was 37? Something like that.
From what?
He was writing a... Well, all right. Here's the story that we got. Because I never really understood this. All right. So anyway, what happened back then, we were told that he was riding a motorcycle in a forest. And I think it was nighttime. So, yeah, obviously not, the sharpest tool. And he hit a deer. He was in a coma for months. I want to say 4 months maybe. And then was, in the hospital after that because he was not... he wasn't a vegetable, but he wasn't too far from it.
Yeah.
Like they had to teach him how to drink and function. And but then he ended up dying just a few months later from the injuries. But the weird part was that the night he died, my brother actually had a dream that he died.
Really?
Yeah, it was the same night, which was
So
freaky.
your brother is a little clairvoyant.
No, he's something. No, yeah. So, but at the time, my brother was in, I think, 9th grade? Something like that. So he had finals at school. So when he had the dream that night, my mother's like, oh, it's just a dream, don't worry about it. She didn't want to tell him that he actually did die because he had finals. So
Wow.
she's like, it's just a dream, don't worry about it. Smacked him a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it wasn't for like another week or two, once he was done with all of his finals, that she finally came to us and said, yes, he did actually die that night.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's actually, yeah, it was probably just, the anniversary was probably just a few weeks ago because we just came out of finals season.
That's right.
So, yeah, so that would be, 44 years ago?
Wow.
Right? Yeah, it was 1980. Yeah. So, all right, but then fast forward to the year 2001. We had Zach in November of 2000. Now, my father's family, my grandmother, his sister, my aunt and her daughters, like they were Long Island. They were here. So my aunt, my father's sister, she comes over. She wants to see the baby. And he's still little. I mean, he's probably not even 6 months. I remember her just sitting there holding the baby. So he couldn't have been that old. Maybe 3 months for all I know. I don't know. But she's just sitting there, and I don't remember how it came up. But she said something about our father and whatnot. So I think I asked her, where is he buried? Because all these years.
It's a great question.
I've known nothing through these years.
Yeah.
Other than he hit a deer, was in a coma, and then came out of it, but then died anyway. And that was literally all I knew all these years. And I'll be honest with you, not to be cold, but I didn't really care all that much because I didn't know this man. Yeah. I don't hate him.
What was his name?
Tom.
Tom.
The Who's Tommy? That's actually the character's name, Tommy Walker. That's his name.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
But it just didn't. I'm just not affected by it because it's not like I spent 10 years with him and then he was gone. Like I didn't know this man, so it really just had no bearing on my life. I had a great childhood. I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
So it just really never meant much to me. But she was sitting there, and it came up. So I asked.
I wonder what possessed you to ask her that. That's
she brought him up. I remember that much. I don't remember what she said, and I think I asked where he was buried or something. I asked something about his death or something, and then she said something about not even knowing where he's buried. And I was like, "Well, you're his sister. What do you mean you don't know where he's buried?" So that's when she gave me the whole spiel. She said that because he had remarried, 78, 79. So about
you may have brothers and sisters out there.
He adopted his wife's daughter. So I have. I mean, it's not really technically blood, but I do have a half sister out there somewhere. I did speak to her once on the phone when he died or shortly before. Maybe yes, it was before he died when he came out of the coma. I spoke to this girl on the phone. I don't even remember her name. I remember the wife's name was Susan. But I spoke to the daughter. She was a little older, so I was 10. I think she was like, I want to say in between 16 and 20.
Wow.
Why he would adopt somebody that old, I don't know. But because I remember I was on the phone with her one day, and she was giving me updates on what was happening with the coma and stuff, and him coming out of it. But that was the only time and again, I don't remember. Maybe Elizabeth. I don't know if that's right. So anyway, so my aunt starts telling me that they got a call from the wife saying that he had this accident. He was in a coma. Now, again, he was in this coma for like at least 4 months. Not once did my aunt and her mother, my father's mother, fly out there to see him. Even when he came out of the coma, they didn't go out there, which I thought was very odd.
Mm.
And I said, all right, so then what happened with his death? And she said, well, we got a call from a guy who claimed to be his next-door neighbor who said his wife asked me to let you know that he died last week.
What?
That's what she told me. And I pretty much said the same thing. What? I said, you guys didn't then fly out there for a funeral? You didn't call the wife? No. And she was very, I'm not knocking my aunt, but
right.
But she was very, no. Like almost like I was the one being weird about it. Like almost like, why would I have to make a call? What are you talking about? So I said, you didn't go to a funeral? You didn't fly out? And no. She was, no. I said, you never spoke to the wife after that? She, no. So like, oh, okay, he's dead. All right, that's done. That was the whole thing.
So you're actually, they actually, so this woman, Susan, actually told the neighbor, can you call these people and tell them this guy
I guess
died?
I don't even know how that happened. I don't know if he volunteered. I don't know
Did you ever speak to her?
No. Not that I remember. I don't think I did. Maybe Frank did. I don't know. Frank has a lot. Frank has a big fascination, curiosity with that side of the family. He likes to hear the history, and he has found family.
He has,
and he talks to them on Facebook occasionally. I have nothing against these people, and I'll read the emails because it's like a group chat thing. I'll look at pictures if stuff gets posted, but I just didn't know this guy. I mean, it's almost like, I don't know, to me it's no different than hearing about the family of somebody that worked here. Like, why would I care? I didn't know the guy.
But it's interesting why you asked him where he's buried. So you did have some sort of curiosity.
I mean, if my aunt has since passed, but if she was sitting here and she wanted to talk about it, I'd listen. But it wasn't like something that...
Have you ever spoke to your mother about it?
Well, after this. So to finish up with my aunt, she's telling me all this. So I said to her, I said, so you don't know if he's buried, you don't know if he's cremated, you don't know anything. She goes, no, I have no idea. I said, you never spoke to the wife after that? She says, no. I said, technically, you don't even know if he's really dead. And she said, no, you're right, I have no idea. So I did. I reached out to my mother after that. And the last time I saw my father, we were leaving the airport in California.
When you were 5.
To come home. I don't know what the deal was, but my brother at the time was learning violin. He brought the violin out there to play for my father. There was something with the violin case that kind of halted things up as far as, like, you know, your luggage going through.
Yeah.
I to this day, and I think my mother may have told me, I've just forgotten, but there was something with the violin case. And my father got into, like, an argument with security. To the point where they were yelling and screaming. And I remember this like it was yesterday. There was a female security. She called another security guy over and she goes, arrest this man. Very calmly, arrest this man. Just like that. And my father went ballistic. There's people grabbing him. We were late for the plane. So as that is happening, my mother, brother, and I start running to catch the plane because we were late. And that was the last time I saw my father. He's fighting with airport security. Now, the reason I bring that up is because between that, and I've heard some stories through the years, you know, from other people, he didn't sound like the greatest guy. And let's face it, he didn't support his 2 sons. He wasn't there for us, and financially he wasn't a help either. So let's face it, we're not talking about the greatest of people here. Mm-hmm. But so knowing that, so when I told my mother all this, I asked her. I said, you know, do you think? I think I may have said, do you think he's dead? She's, well, yeah, he's dead because we got Social Security money after that. Oh, okay. So on paper, the man is dead.
On paper.
So I said to my mother, I go, do you think he could have faked it? She goes, no, he couldn't have faked it. You know, how would you do that? I said, and she's giving me all these, you know.
Because there is ways. Yeah.
Well, I said to her, I go, look, I said, he left when I was born. He left us when my mother was pregnant with me. I said, and then, you know, he went out west. Drove out west. He went out west.
Thank you. You said it properly.
and then he never came back. So I said to my mother, I said, you have no idea what his life was like the last 10 years of his life. You don't know who he knew, what he got into, nothing. I said, so my question is, if he had the means and the connections to fake his death, would he do it? And my mother said, yes, he would. I said, all right. So I think there was a very good possibility that man was alive.
Especially that your aunt, she didn't go out there. She knew nothing. She knew nothing.
Right. I don't know. For some reason, I just think he is probably dead now. But there is a part of me.
You spoke to the daughter, the adopted daughter, right?
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about that conversation. I was 9 or 10.
Well, she didn't tell you he died, just out of the coma. And
yeah, he was. At the time she was giving me updates on the coma, like, you know, like what he's able to do, what he's been working on. Like, you know, I remember her saying that somebody showed him pictures of me and Frank, and he had no clue. But it was that kind of stuff telling me that, you know, his brain function wasn't very good, stuff like that.
It wasn't very good.
Well, yeah, before the accident.
No offense.
But no, I don't care. But he, so yeah, it did kind of cross my mind that there's a chance maybe that guy was alive for a while. Who knows what trouble he was in, you know? So yeah, so that's
he pulled an Elvis.
There's been many sightings. Yeah, so that's my father's story.
You know, after 25 years, I know you. It's the first time I'm hearing about this.
I can't believe I never told you any of this.
You know, I thought we were friends. Don't friends share things?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. wives. So, what? So, what are your plans? When what? We're in
Frank
trouble.
Walker.
Is he mad?
Per the death certificate, which he has a copy of the death certificate.
Yeah, which I think I've seen. Oh, he died May 31st, 1980, and was cremated. The daughter was named Lisa. Oh, I was close. I said Elizabeth.
You were close.
Lisa. All right, but that's what I'm saying. That on paper he is dead. I don't recall ever hearing he was cremated. I don't. I'm not. And I'm not saying. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying I don't recall ever hearing that. But
I would never. Because you can fake a death with the death certificate.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not.
I like I said, to tell you the truth, I really don't care. I don't care if he faked this death or not. He had no bearing on my life. I didn't know the man.
Yeah.
So and again, he was not the greatest guy. He couldn't hold a job. He had many jobs in his life. He actually was a lineman in the phone company, which I did not know until I think after I had retired. Somebody, a friend of my mother's had mentioned that once in front of me. I was like, what? Did you just say he was a lineman in the phone company? But my mother said, yeah, just one of many jobs. It didn't last because he couldn't hold a job. Wow. So let's see. Long Island beaches are nice. They have a nice taco stand under the boardwalk. Oh, my goodness. I used to date a Middle Eastern chick with big tits from Iraq. All right.
Wow.
Did AOC ever serve you a beer or a drink?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. On a motorcycle or in a car? He was riding a motorcycle.
Maybe he was only mostly dead.
Adopted isn't half sister unless your dad got mom pregnant. Well, all right, that's what I said. She's not a half sister by blood, but technically she is a half sister because he adopted her. All right. Wit, the stepsister's name was Lisa. Oh, is Andy? Andy, are you insinuating that I married my stepsister? Fell overboard, lost at sea, no body, but presumably dead. I had an issue with my guitar case on an airplane. They gave me such a problem, yet nothing to say about Hindi Bindi Beanie Weenie that just walked right through. Oh, my goodness, Fronda.
I don't get it.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
it's an inside joke.
No, it's a racist thing.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he was only mostly dead. She is not technically a half-sister.
Technically, no. But
it's got to be something. Like some kind of relation.
Like my cousin and I, Kathy, right?
Yeah. Is that the whole story?
Yeah, that's the whole story. My cousin Kathy. Her mother and my mother are twins, and they married brothers. So she's as close as a sister as I can get.
Yeah.
Technically, DNA-wise, I guess she would be my sister, right?
Right.
But it's the term is actually called double first cousins.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a fat joke, but it's double first cousin.
Now, Sally, her mother died when she was
I remember that.
11 or 12.
Yeah, she was.
Her father. Her mother had a brother who was married and divorced. After her mother died, her father then married that woman.
Huh?
Her uncle, her mother's brother, was married to a woman.
Mm-hmm. They got divorced.
They had 4 kids. So those are Sally's cousins because this is her uncle. But the woman isn't her blood. Because it's the uncle has blood. So they got divorced. After her mother died, her father then got together with that woman.
With the 4 kids.
And they got married. So her cousins became her stepbrothers and sisters.
I think I'm going to one-up on you here.
Okay.
This is a great one. Barbara, who you know.
Yeah.
She had a cousin that worked for the town of Huntington. He kind of helped me get the job.
Very nice.
He
regrets it now.
He had one. He's in Florida. I don't fucking know. He's got one hand. Why that's important, I don't know. He's married to a woman that used to be his father's girlfriend.
What?
Yes. Yes.
That's insane.
Insane.
Bill Wyman, the original bass player for the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Do you happen to remember any of this?
No.
In the 80s, so he was in his 40s, probably, around that time. And how he was able to get away with this, I don't know. He started dating a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, that's like Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yes.
In the 50s, yeah.
And she turned out to be his cousin, too.
Yeah.
Got married to this girl when she was 18.
In the United States?
Well, no, the Rolling Stones are English, so maybe,
yeah.
I don't know, you can do that in England?
13? I didn't think so.
I don't know. But that's the story. And then he married her when she was 18. His son started dating that girl's mother. Oh, yeah. Look it up. True story.
Oh, my God.
My brother and I, in fact, we were just talking about this recently. My brother went to school with a guy. They were close friends in high school. He started dating this girl. I forget what town she was from. She wasn't a Hicksville kid. I don't even know how we met her, but because, when you're a teenager, your whole world is in your town,
Yeah.
But he met some girl from some other town, started dating her, and they kind of got serious. They were dating for a good year or so. And somebody happened to do a family tree search of some sort. Found out these two were like first cousins. But they didn't know it. They literally did not know it. And I think, Frank, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think they kept going for a while. They were like, screw it, we're already been together for this long time, we're in love.
Yeah.
And then they did eventually break up. But I don't know if it was because of that. I have no idea. I don't remember it that well. But
My cousin Kathy is married to a cousin, Ed.
First cousin?
We're like, we've known each other our whole lives, but it's by marriage. We're cousins by marriage.
Okay.
Still a cousin, though.
Yeah, sure.
And they dated when they were teenagers. They broke up. I don't know why. And
are they from Tennessee?
Yeah, I thought Tennessee was...
Well, I don't know. Somewhere in the
Adam Carolla
South.
was going to Tennessee.
Who is?
Adam Carolla.
Yeah, he said that's one of his choices, yeah.
I call him Adam Toyota.
Double first cousin songs. What? Double first cousins songs like a pornographic movie, says John Rosiello. I don't. Double first cousins. I guarantee that's a porn movie somewhere, says Frank.
I'm sure.
Kafora. Frank, my brother, didn't you say you saw him in your basement once? It's happened to me twice where I would swear I saw my father.
Really?
But not like, in a public place. I'm like, oh, is that him? Not like that, but like, I guess
as a spirit.
like a spirit or a ghost, however you want to term it. Yeah, it's happened to me twice.
Then he must be gone, yeah.
But that's the thing, some people don't believe in that stuff. Some people will tell you that's your brain playing tricks on you.
I believe wholeheartedly it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, but even still, was it him? There was one time, I'll tell you, but it's a true story. I was home by myself, so I went into the bathroom to, do my thing, sitting on the bowl.
Yeah.
And nobody was home, so I left the door open. And I was reading this is 25 years ago. And I'm just sitting and I'm reading a magazine. And I would swear he walked past, like he was walking down the hallway.
So you were facing the door?
No, the door was to my left. But I was reading the magazine, and I, started to see the motion of him walking. And I looked up, and he was looking right at me. And he just walked like Lisa would
right.
just be walking by to go to the kitchen to get a drink.
Yeah.
It was just like that. And it was messed up. It was clear as day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you really think it was just somebody walking past.
Yeah.
The first time I saw him was not that clear, but I think it was him. And then to make this even weirder, my mother, this is the 90s, a friend of my mother's went to one of these, psychic nights, but it's a whole room. It's not a private thing. And the psychic told my mother's friend that they see a tall man with red hair coming through, and the friend couldn't think who that could be at the time. And the psychic said, "This man is saying that his son is going to have a Saturday night Saturday Night Live type of show. And this woman, she's like, okay, and it was, I think, if I remember this right, this was like weeks later, it finally hit her. It's like, oh, Ann's ex-husband Tom had red hair. She called him up. She called my mother up and told her this. At the time, though, we couldn't really. But sure enough, I mean, I don't have a Saturday Night Live type of show, but we did start the murder mysteries, the comedy thing.
Oh yeah.
So I forget if it was me who remembered it or my mother, but one of us remembered that. We're like, oh yeah, look. Like,
Your father had red hair, huh?
Yeah, he was 6'3" or something, tall guy with red hair. But his face is, I pretty much look exactly like him.
You do?
I don't have a lot of pictures, but yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
And I've had plenty of relatives that I've met say to me, oh, you're just like him. And I've even asked my mother, I'm just like him. She's like, yeah, your wit and some of the stuff you say is a lot like him.
Oh, it was funny.
I guess, yeah.
If your mother said he was witty.
But it's just so weird to me that a guy I didn't know, but yet I act like him. Like that's weird to me. I'm not yeah, exactly. But it's still kind of.
Can I give you my paranormal story?
Yes.
My Uncle Alan, my cousin Kathy's father, died in 1999 at Foxwoods Casino. I told you. I think I told you.
He died at the casino?
He died in a hotel room.
Oh, well, oh yes, you did tell me that. Right? Yes.
So I don't know. 6 months later, I was married to someone else at the time, who you know.
Sure.
I'm laying in bed on my side like this, and right above us was a window. She was asleep.
Your wife?
Yes. The moonlight was shining in, and I'm sitting like this, and my Uncle Alan, who was dead, was standing right next to me, looking down on me.
Good thing you weren't jerking off.
Yeah. Now, did I say anything like that when you were saying?
No.
You were sitting on the toilet,
true,
defecating. Like of all times, him looking at you. There's a million jokes there.
True. That's why he kept walking. He was like, whoa. And that was the last time I saw him,
That's
too.
My boy.
He's like, he smells. I'm never coming back. Because I never saw him again. So is that the whole story? You were standing right next to you?
I wasn't finished.
All right, that's why I asked.
So I'm standing there, and I'm at the corner of my eye. I'm seeing it clear as day. He was a big man, kind of half bald. She wakes up and looks at me. She goes, "What are you looking at?" And he disappeared.
Oh, what? Like you actually saw him disappear?
Yeah, because I was like this, and he was in the corner of my eye, peripherally. And as soon as she opened her fucking mouth, he must have known. Poof, he was gone.
Same thing. So I'm getting out of here.
I'm getting out of here.
She's gonna yell.
Yeah.
See, all right. So let me ask you this: when you saw him, you weren't like, "What the?" Like,
no, I wasn't scared at all.
That's exactly why I asked. Because when I saw because when I saw my father pass,
actually almost calm.
Yes. That's exactly how and I remember thinking about that later. Like, I didn't freak out. Nothing.
No.
It was just like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, like, here he is.
And there's somebody else.
Some privacy, please.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to sleep, or I'm trying to take a shit. There is somebody else that I saw as a kid. And yeah, it was as clear as day, except remember when we were kids, like that on the TV, I think we called it snow, like when there was no reception, it was that weird gray snow looking thing. The person I saw wasn't in color. It was
black and white or gray.
It was that snowy effect, but I could still make out their face, but instead of being white-skinned, it was that kind of static type of thing. But it was green. It wasn't white. But it was green. But this person was kneeling down. His back was to me. And I stopped, and he just kind of looked over his shoulder at me. And same thing. Calmness. It's like, oh, he's here. And I was in my room. Oh, there he is. I can't say who it is, but I'll tell you off the air. But, yeah, and I was maybe 5. And that's also why I think it was real, because I remember it so well. But, yeah, I remember thinking to myself, oh, there's so-and-so. And I just walked out. I didn't freak out. I didn't stand there and watch. I just walked right out of the room like this guy belonged there. And I went downstairs and told my grandmother.
People a lot of people, like the famous mediums and psychics, they say we all have the ability. You have to be open to it, obviously.
Yeah, I've heard
I don't
that.
know. There's many different layers. I saw one other person. And my uncle. That was the only one.
But I went to a friend of mine years ago, got his hands on tickets. Who's the guy that had the TV show where he read people? Long Island guy.
Yeah, John. No.
John Edward.
John
Thank
Edwards,
you. Thank you for that. As soon as you said John, it clicked.
Yeah.
Remember he had that show?
Oh, yeah.
So a buddy of mine, he managed to get his hand on tickets. And now I'm not one of those. I'm one of those people, like, when it comes to anything, I'm like, you know what? Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
You have plenty of people that know it's not real, or yes, it is real, or they have their thoughts on it. I'm like, well, why not? Why not?
Why not? Absolutely.
Now, having said that, I'm not one of those people that need closure. Like, I don't, like, I had my time with that person. They're gone. When my time comes, I'd love to see them again. But I don't need, I need to hear from my grandma. Like, I just don't. So I've never really paid really much attention to that stuff. And so getting tickets is not something that I would seek out, but it sounded cool, like, to go, let's go and check this out. Something different. So he got 4 tickets. So it was him and his wife, Lisa and myself. If you were going to judge one, like, if this was real or not, like, if you're going to use this taping to make your decision, you'd walk out of there being a non-believer. This taping was a mess. He wasn't getting anything out of anybody. He was struggling, and I think he taped 2 episodes while we were there. At the end of it, because now people were getting restless and getting pissed, because you get so many people that go to these things looking to connect. Mm-hmm. So people were getting pissed because he wasn't hitting with. I mean, he hit with very few people. And then he had this thing, and I think a lot of these psychics do it. Unless they make some kind of connection, they can't move on from that person. Mm-hmm. So this is how the afternoon ends. He was stuck on this old man. He kept saying this and this one, and I'm seeing this one showing me this, and this one said this word, and this one showing me a dog. This guy was like, no, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. So he was stuck on this guy, 45 minutes, stuck on this guy. Finally, John Edwards says, all right, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And he walked out. And that was the end. That was the end of the taping. We're like, thank you, everybody. And people started complaining. It was like, well, we're sorry. We don't guarantee you get read.
Right.
Yeah, and that was it. That was how the afternoon ended. Him spending 45 minutes on a guy and getting nothing. And then a few years later, a friend of Lisa's, because he did that on the show where he would read the audience, but then they would also show some one-on-ones.
Yeah.
A friend of Lisa's got a one-on-one with him. But they asked in advance, like, who you hoping to see, and what do you. They actually asked for a couple of stories. Like, they actually asked for stuff.
Wow.
So that kind of bugged me too. And then they sit down for the one-on-one, and he starts going on. He starts saying stuff about D-Day. I'm seeing D-Day. Had nothing to do with Lisa's friend, but her husband had a relative at D-Day, and he drove his wife to this. So he was in the back somewhere. So they end up bringing him out. He sits down, but that was the only connection. Because then John was like, and I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. And our friend's husband was like, I don't know. So even that, he wasn't connecting. He just got D-Day. And then, so he never really. And then it was funny because my wife's friend, she got mad at her husband. Like, I shouldn't have brought you. Why? He's supposed to be talking to me. But he didn't really. So I have 2 connections to this guy, or 2 personal stories with this guy, and he didn't come through.
Well, he kind of died out. Didn't he?
I will tell you, the Long Island medium,
Teresa Caputo.
She grew up.
I met her.
Well,
not too long ago.
We grew up with them.
But you did.
My brother was good friends with her growing up. I knew her. She had a brother that was my age. We weren't super close, but no, we were friends.
Are you a believer?
Well, that was the thing. So I don't, because she says on her TV show that she always had this, and now I didn't really know her that well. My mother and my brother, like, they know the whole family, the parents and everything. I didn't know them that well. I was locked in a cage most of the time. So I didn't really get. I wasn't the nice one. So everybody knew Frank, and so many people like, oh, he's got a brother. Like, oh, and that's. But they did. They knew the whole family. So I didn't really know her that well, but I never once I didn't have any recollections of her, going through anything like that when we were kids. But knowing them, of course, we have a lot of mutual friends, because they're Hicksville, and we're, and I've had people that I know and trust have told me, yeah, oh no, she's the real deal. I've had a few friends say to me, she pulled stuff out about me that nobody else knows. Like they swore by it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I trust them. Like if you said to me, "No, I had a reading of Teresa's computer; she was spot on," I would totally believe you. But yeah,
I was hoping she would read me. She was at an event, actually, Angels of Long Island. She went there one day while they were doing the food giveaway.
Okay,
and she went there to film an episode of her show. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's going to air this season or next season. So she was going around to people, that were volunteering there.
Right.
And there was a couple people who had children that committed suicide, and they came through and all that stuff,
Wow.
It was pretty cool. So you know me, I'm a little ballsy type guy.
Little balls, yeah.
Yeah, little balls, thank you. How do you know?
I had a lot of room in my mouth. Ugh, sorry.
So there was a point where there was a little break in the action. I said, I want to go face to face with her. I want to see if she feels anything.
Okay.
So I went up to her. I said, Ms. Caputo, because she's divorced, I think, right?
She is, yes.
I went up to her and I took her and I gave her both my hands. And I said, it's a pleasure meeting you. And I made sure I looked in her eyes.
Is that like supposed to give her extra power or something?
Yeah, I thought maybe she would feel something in my hand, something, because it's all in the eye contact, right? Nothing.
I believe it.
Zip.
My brother was on her show.
Oh, really?
They did an episode around because they used to play in a church like during service. They had a little band, and my brother was in the band, and she was in the band too. So they did an episode around that where they wanted to have like a reunion and play a little show somewhere.
What'd she play?
She played a little guitar.
Oh.
So they actually had an episode.
Guitar or just
ukulele. Yeah. So if you look at the first show she had, there's an episode. It's all around Frank and
wow,
having this reunion, and she's got to learn the guitar again and all this stuff. And she did a reading with him. As a part of the show, they were going to have the reunion, but she was also going to at the reunion do a reading and stuff.
Yeah.
Open crowd. I don't know, Frank. I thought her reading of Frank was a little vague. He was happy with it. Teresa read Dad to me during a public event in 2013 before the show started. Oh, okay.
Is that your mother?
No, Frank said that. So that wasn't the show taping?
Did he just say he mentioned your father?
Teresa read Dad to me during a public event.
Wow.
So I guess he's saying our father came through. I don't know. So, but if I remember, so I don't know if I'm thinking about that night or when you guys taped the show, but from what I heard, about what she said, it was kind of vague. It wasn't like, Dad says, remember in December of 75 when you came to San Fran.
And I almost got arrested.
Right. Like she didn't say anything like that. It was all, so he's here and he says he's proud of you. Like, all right, but give me something.
Yeah, you got to have more substance than that.
She didn't read them on the show. Okay, so I'm putting the two stories together. The point is still the same. She didn't, in my opinion, she didn't give you anything really like.
Did I ever tell you about Raymond Perot?
Who is that? What?
Raymond Perot is a psychic. I don't even know if he's still alive.
Okay, I've heard that name.
I went to him like 3 or 4 times in the village. He's this gay guy, lives with his husband, right?
Okay.
And when you go there, and it was the greatest thing. Every time, it wasn't about money. $50, that's all it was.
Okay.
And you would walk up a loft, and he would be sitting at a desk drinking like these, really clove cigarettes. And as soon as he looked at you, he would start writing on Post-its and putting the Post-its here so you couldn't see it.
Okay.
Right? But he always asked you to bring pictures of people that you want to know about. So I brought pictures of like my dad and my son.
Oh, so this is fairly recent.
I saw him in the 90s once. I saw him in the 2000s once. I've seen him 3 times, and I went about.
Oh, so you weren't?
Years ago.
You didn't bring pictures of just people who passed. You wanted pictures.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. Sorry, that's why I got confused because I thought.
Yeah, no,
I
he
thought this
doesn't
was
claim
after.
to be a medium. He has psychic.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's wild when you see he's riding like a banshee, putting post-its here so you can't see him.
Wow.
So he's asking me about what do you do for a living, and I said, and it was right before I went to Iraq.
Okay, the second time.
Yes.
Okay.
And he picks it up. He goes, "I see you in an army uniform." You know, so he was brilliant. He was brilliant. He told me about my father would die of dementia.
He told you that?
Yes, he did. He goes, "I see your father living to his 80s, but he's going to have Alzheimer's or dementia, and you're going to lose him because of that."
Oh my goodness!
He was outrageously brilliant, but he didn't advertise. And he used to have stars like Cher, like the husband. Like you sit in the living room, you're watching TV, and they give you like a glass of lemonade or something. You wait for the big fella up there. And I said, my friend John asked, any famous people?
John Rusciello?
No,
Oh.
my friend John Chattel asked, any famous people come here? Because he didn't advertise, because you knew something was up with him, like, this is odd.
Yeah.
And he said, the only one I'll tell you is Cher's been here. And he was brilliant. He would he would just start writing things and put them on posters.
And this was. Did you already enlist to go back to Iraq, or that you hadn't thought about it yet?
I was in the reserves.
Oh, okay.
I was
All
in
right.
the Army Reserves, but
Right.
He goes, I see you in uniform. He goes, you're going Iraq, you're going overseas or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what he did tell me the first time,
Yeah.
he goes, you're going to have many wives.
So it's his fault.
It's his fault.
How many did you have at the time he said that?
I don't know. What's weird, it was I was single at the time, and I was only married once.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to get married again. He goes, you're going to get married several times.
Holy shit. Now, thank goodness you did come back from Maine, because if you guys split up there, I mean, I would think I would think that's a pretty lonely existence up there.
In the wintertime, it's tough.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, it's tough because, I mean, I don't ski or do any.
Right. No. Was she okay? She was okay with coming back?
Well, her family was up there.
Oh, that's what you said. Her family was there.
Her parents were in Brunswick along with her brother. And
but she missed her kids. Her kids were
her
still
kids
here.
were still here.
So she was okay with coming back.
She was fine with coming back.
Yeah. Now, what do you think? Do you think someday you're going to leave again?
I don't know. If my son and grandchildren leave,
oh yeah,
yeah, I'm out.
You would follow them,
even though Trish won't. She said she wouldn't leave, but I hate Long Island. I don't want to sound like a negative Nelly.
Too late.
You know, it's like, you know, I feel like, you know, I told you my fan club disbanded. The guy died.
My goodness. Let's go back.
Come on, you laughed at least.
Yeah, true.
Isn't it about laughing?
Yes. Let's.
I don't know why you're hollering at me. Friender share joke is stellar.
Well, yeah, all right.
Joke of the day.
So Deborah Markowitz, who was a guest in here a few months ago.
Nice Jewish lady.
She's wonderful. She's a filmmaker. My son has since started working for her.
Nice.
And just now, as I'm trying to scroll back to read some comments I haven't gotten to, just as I'm doing that, a text came in saying, we have an AD that is kicking ass today. Assistant director that is kicking ass today. That's the text I got.
That's nice.
All right, so...
Wow, he's got some eye, your son.
He really does.
Yeah.
When me and Don made that movie 2 years ago.
Why do you always have to flip that around like a fucking
Because I can't find it.
Cube.
I can't find it every time. That
Uber Eats?
Yes. He was the assistant director on that. And Yeah, everybody was impressed. I mean, he's just on it, man, and he knows what's got to be. Like, it's just second nature to him, and he nails it. In fact, him and Don just made a short film. It's only 10 minutes long. Don actually hasn't put it out yet, but I saw a rough cut, and it was just the two of them. Zach and his camera. They filmed it in our house. Zach and Don put their equipment together as far as lights and cameras and microphones. So it was just Don and Zach and two actors. You guys know Fudge, the comedian, and Mary Capone. And but yeah,
it
Don,
was a comedy short.
There's some light moments, but it's mostly drama.
Really?
Yeah, but Don directed it, and while Zach was handling the camera and the director of photography, basically like handling the lighting and stuff. I think it came out great, and I really loved it. So I don't know. I think we're gonna wait. I think we're gonna make a few shorts. We have a few ideas.
Do you have to be
on.
famous to be in one of these shorts with your son?
No.
Like a comic, or like Don?
Well, for Don, yeah, that is kind of like a thing for Don. Like he's grabbing all the. A lot of these comedians are good actors. So maybe if you take the damn class and then you do some stand-up.
What's his name? Jeff Clausen? Like the Pickles?
What?
What?
Who's Jeff Clausen?
The
guy doing the class?
Yeah.
John Truson.
Oh, John Truson. Wow, I was really close. Yeah, but do you realize how many acting classes I've taken in my life?
Hey, I'm the first to say it, man. You're an excellent actor. I am the first to say it. But Don...
I'd like to share... I wanted to...
Yeah, go ahead. You all right? Are you getting a text now, too?
No, it was a phone call.
Oh. Was it Trish?
No.
Oh.
I have no idea who it was.
Oh.
New York, New York.
Oh.
Like the song.
Yeah.
Great comics
Yes.
can make you laugh and cry at the same time, I feel.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
I took this unbelievable acting class at Theater 3. I want to play Scrooge there, but you know Jeffrey Sanzel from Theater 3. He runs Theater 3.
Yes, I know who he is.
He'll
Yes.
never give up that part. He'll never
Dick.
give up that. Yeah, he's a dick. He should let someone else take a crack at it.
Well, you could play it somewhere else.
What? I took this acting class once, and it was so metaphysical because when you're up on stage, even as a comic, you have to be naked. Did you ever hear Robert De Niro? You know the Stella Adler. She would walk onto the stage in front of a brand new class with no top on. That's how you mentally you have to be totally naked to an audience, because a good audience will know if your acting is spot on.
Right.
And I know me and you've been acting, murder mysteries for so many years. We can go see a show and see, that's not a good actor. They're doing a pretty good job. That one's outstanding.
Yes.
And this one, the greatest lesson I learned was from this great acting teacher. She was a big, heavy-set lady. She had us all in like a chorus room, turned off the lights, and she did a metaphysical exercise. And she goes, oh, and I'm going to make it really short because it lasted 2 hours. Put your biggest secret that you've been carrying around your whole life, put it in a backpack. You're going to carry a backpack. And then she traversed it. It just meant she was speaking all this. So the biggest secret you have in your life, you put it in a backpack so it's tangible, right? And you walk through this forest and you went, you were in like a hot spring, and in the distance there was a castle, and everyone goes in the castle, finds the perfect hiding spot that no one will ever know. You take this secret out of your backpack and you put it away, hide it, it's gone. Because you can't be encumbered on stage. If you have secrets, if something is bothering you, or if something, if you're not right mentally, being in that character, you can't have any secrets. You have to be naked. You have to be naked, then clothe yourself with that character.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that. That I do agree with that. I mean, I understand that to get fully immersed into a character.
Yeah.
I totally see that.
And I remember doing that because that was when I did Mr. Potter, it was around this, I think it was right after I took that class.
Okay.
And I think that's why I had I did well with that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have. I was going to say I'd like to find video of that, but I don't have any. Not from that show.
Really? We don't have a video of that one?
The girl Debbie, who owns the South Shore Experience, she played. Who's the not Mary? Who's the Violet?
Violet Bick.
She. I remember she took video. I've asked her for it several times. I've never.
Really?
She's never given it to me, and she's never, like, even in this day of
You
of
speak to
social
her
media.
from time to time?
I
Just like on
hadn't
Facebook or
I hadn't
something?
for a long time, and then I did a show with John Glenn at South Shore Experience, and there she was, and I didn't say anything at first because I didn't think she would remember me, because I did that show with her, but then I did some other work with her just shortly after that. But we're talking 25 years ago, more than that at this point.
Yeah.
So when I did the show with John Glenn at her place, that was just a few years ago. So I didn't think she would remember me, but she did. And I was like, oh. And I did ask her, but I asked her a lot back then. But then this time I even said to her, and she's like, oh, yeah, I think I have it around somewhere. I haven't seen it in years. But now she moved. She's in North Carolina. But she still owns this theater. But, yeah, I don't really talk to her. Just maybe a comment on Facebook once in a while, once in a blue moon. But
that would be great to see that.
I would love to watch it. I would probably cringe at whatever I was doing, but
no, you wouldn't.
We did with that same troupe. We did Phantom of the Opera, where I was Phantom.
Yeah, that was great.
I can't watch it.
You can't.
I think it's that bad.
They you know, most actors and actresses don't like to watch themselves.
Yeah, but I can. I don't.
Yeah.
The second I watch myself, I can. All right, I should have done this differently. Like I don't like much, but I can get through it. But Phantom,
that was a very hard part to play.
And I can't watch it. That and we did the same troupe, so you know who I'm talking about. We had to do this version of Beauty and the Beast, and I don't know what and so I can't watch it, not because of my performance. It was just like they had us. They wanted us to be like these gypsies. Like we were dressed as gypsies. So they wanted us to come out and be like gypsies and then perform Beauty and the Beast like these gypsies would. It was very odd. And I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but it was very gay.
Right.
And one of the directors, you remember, was a gay man. We had to come out and do like this weird... actually, throughout the whole show, we had to do this weird blocking and,
it was the same thing with the music stands.
Yeah, but it was a little bit more than that. They tried to expand it, and it was very abstract, which I'm not a fan of. And like to give you an example, and this is why one of the reasons it was gay and I was very uncomfortable. There was a part where a girl has to walk through a gate. They made two of the actors. They made one actor stand up straight. They made the other actor bend over in front of this actor and then have to act like be the gate. But they were bent over in front of and and originally I was supposed to be the one standing there with the guy who was going to have his ass against me swinging like a gate. And I don't remember what I did, but I managed to get out of that. And thankfully this scene with the gate, I wasn't in at all, thankfully. But there was a part where I was like a tree and they had to touch my hand to get something off a branch. It was very weird.
Beauty and the Beast? Why mess with a classic?
Right. So if Lisa and I want to have a laugh, we'll watch it.
That's funny.
But I have a hard time watching it. Again, not because of my performance. It was just because of that. It was very strange. Yeah, I didn't really...
The biggest laugh I have is watching The Streets.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
Oh.
All right, let me do some comments here because I haven't done comments in a while. Frank Walker, not sure how long they stayed together. I don't know what that's even referring to. Mike, if you remember, tell Tony my Aunt Blanche story. from John Rusciello.
Oh, his Aunt Blanche, great stories. Jeff Sanzel is amazing at Scrooge. Yes, I'm sorry, but I think I would do better.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree.
If that's Frank C, my friend, I don't. Who's Frank C?
Frank C is Frank Cafora.
Cafora?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jeffrey Sanzel is great at Scrooge, and he's run Theater 3 for many years. He has done an unbelievable job.
Tony Stinker makes sense since the name is LePew. In the old days, at midnight, the Star Spangled Banner played on television, and after it ended, the screen was snow. There you go. Thank you, Joel. Yes. Fremder, I used to watch a snowy screen and hit the side of the TV 3 times just to see a scrambling titty before I went to sleep. Well, that was later, though, in the days of the cable boxes.
Yeah, the cable boxes.
And you would try to hit the 2 buttons and work that little sliding thing.
Yeah, try to
just to see get
a little action.
Tarot cards, crystal ball, read your palm, join hands, and channel a loved one. Find a real gypsy. All right. John Edwards crossing over. Right. South Park famously shows how these guys do that BS. Yes, South Park used to pick on that guy, John Edwards. Yeah. But this old man, he played knick-knack on my tomb. John Edwards' career crossed over into oblivion. No, he's still out there doing it.
Is he?
That TV show faded, but no, he's still around. This old man, he played knick-knack on Gurney. All right. Teresa read. Oh, I saw that already. Did she feel something in her hand? Yeah, probably. If Long Island Medium actually knew real stuff, she wouldn't be divorced. Yeah, right. She didn't read. All right. Not too many people know this, but Mario Bosco is also a medium.
Who's Mario Bosco?
Mario Bosco is a comedian, but he's like this tall and. Sorry, Mario. I'm not trying to be mean, but he look. If you look at him from the back, you think it's like a 10-year-old kid.
Oh, he's a little fella.
But but also like even body type, like he's very thin.
Oh,
like a lot of little people, like you can tell they're an adult.
Yeah.
This guy looks from the back, looks like a little kid.
Yeah.
And then you see his face, and you realize I think he's 50-something. But yeah, and he's a comedian. He's actually done a lot of acting. He's been on Kimmel. He was on NYPD Blue. He's been around. But we've he used to be a regular on this show. Used to stop in a lot and hang out. But he hasn't been at this club in a while. I thought Mario was a large, maybe XL. Joel, $50 in the old days was decent hooker money. The only advice a psychic medium should share is don't go skiing. Well, she wasn't there for that. Joel must have thought you were a Mormon. All right, I don't know what that's about. Frank C. Oh, you read that. Fremder, my worst fear won't fit into a backpack. However, it did fit in an old body bag I just found.
Oh, God.
You're right. Broadway is full of gate people. Yeah, well, all right.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
That's funny.
All right. All right, this was fun. We didn't really do much of anything we had planned today, but we had a good time. So thanks for hanging with us today. You, my friend, have a safe trip.
Going south.
I said a safe trip.
I know, going south.
All right. So you weren't correcting me. You were just adding to it?
No, I was just adding.
How long are you going for?
Huh?
How long? A week. A full week. Friday to Friday?
No, Friday to Wednesday.
Oh, so that's not a full week then, is it?
No, it's not.
So we're going to possibly Zoom in. Oh, so you're not leaving until later in the day?
We're not leaving until Wednesday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trish has talked. What?
Coming back north.
Coming back north. Mm-hmm. Flying over, heading north. Now, Trish has talked to John on the phone. She's never met him.
No.
You're staying with him the whole time?
We're staying with him Friday. We're going to see her family Saturday.
She has family down there, too?
She has family very close by.
That you've met?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sunday, we're going back to John's, and we're going to spend Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with John and Dawn.
That's a lot of time with John and Dawn.
Yeah.
What happens if...
No, they'll probably kill us or kick us out.
That's fine. What happens if, like, you guys walk out of there and you're like, you didn't like her family, or they don't like you, or Trish and John don't click? What happens then?
I'm actually having a lot of anxiety meeting her family.
Really?
Yeah. Because you know me, I don't drink.
Okay.
And they're all big drinkers.
Oh.
And you know me and you are so similar that way.
Yeah.
We don't like to be around people that get drunk.
All right, but that's a difference. I mean, I don't drink either. I haven't drank. I mean, I barely. I think I had 2 beers in high school, but
the same as me. Yeah,
I was never a big drinker, but I had never had a problem hanging with the drinkers.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't mind people, and I'm not a snob or a prude. I don't like when they go to drink too much. People when they drink too much.
Yeah, I like when if it gets into fighting or puking. Or, I don't like that.
It's like sloppy.
I had one of my closest friends who, when we were in our 20s and 30s, was a big drinker, and there was a lot of having to drag him out of a place, having to drive him home, and him calling me the next day, what happened last night?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't want to say I got tired of it, but it definitely got old after. I mean, this went on for years.
Yeah.
To the point where I don't really want to get involved in anything like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was meeting, my significant other's family for the first time, I'd probably be okay with it like the first time. And I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore.
Right, yeah.
But just coming up just a little shy of sloppy, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah. So why do you think that? So are you just worried about that, or do you feel they're going to judge you if you don't drink? Because I've had that.
Oh no, let me tell you something. Just recently, I've told people like I was at a party once, or just at Trish's family's house. I do feel like an outsider. I don't drink at all, and it seems like everybody has a few cocktails or a beer once in a while. I just don't. I just never got the taste.
I've been judged for it.
Everyone is.
It's rare.
Did you ever get? Oh, have a drink, loosen up. Have
a
drink. Yeah.
I had one guy tell me once he doesn't trust a person that doesn't drink. I was like, and this guy was a dick to me every time I saw him after.
I've had that said to me.
This was a phone company guy, so I ran into him often.
Yeah.
I finally had to tell him to go fuck himself after about 4 or 5 times. He was he met me, he offered me a beer, and I said, sorry, thanks, but I don't drink. And he said immediately, I don't trust a guy who doesn't drink. He was a dick to me after that. And then, like 5 or 6 times I would see him after that, he was a dick to me the whole time. So finally, I just had enough. I said, why don't you go fuck yourself? Just like that. Nice and calm. And he did. He was visibly surprised that I said it.
Yeah.
Ignored me. I only saw him maybe once or twice after that. Ignored me. Then I saw him again. He retired from the phone company. I bumped into him somewhere. You would think you would think it was you and John seeing each other.
Yeah.
This coming Friday.
Wow.
Like this guy was all friends, hugging, trying to catch up to me. How you been? How's everything going? What's going on at the phone company? Like, in my head, I'm like, I hate you. Just like John will be saying on Friday.
Oh, yeah. Is it Wednesday yet?
Okay. So, yeah. Have a great time, pal.
Thank you.
Don't forget that poster.
Why?
That's John's.
Oh, that's John. I got to carry that all the way south to fucking Florida?
Can't just roll it up and put it in a bag?
It's going to get crushed.
All right. I think John will still enjoy it.
I forgot that's his.
Yeah, that's why.
I thought you were giving it to me.
I have another one. You want it?
No.
All right. Well, then you and John fight over that one.
She is funny.
Oh, yeah. I think she's very funny. But easy in the eyes, too. That's it. We're out of here. Have a great time, pal. I hope you have a great time.
Oh, your pen's over there.
My pen's over. Did you want to play with it some
No,
more?
I don't want the pen.
I got a lot of announcements here. So today is Wednesday. So that's it for today. Nothing else going on. Coffee with the Dog tomorrow at 9. I'm in here with Frank tomorrow and George Tebbett. George Tebbett is a musician. He was in the Good Rats, among other bands. So he'll be joining us tomorrow. That'll be fun.
Popular guy.
Yeah.
That was a big band.
Right. Tomorrow night is we got Circling the Drain tomorrow night, and Primal Scream with Nick Greystone will be on tomorrow night. All a lot of fun. What the fuck?
I'm just making sure your pen works.
Oh, thanks. And of course, don't forget Governor's Comedy Club. Let's see what's happening at Governor's Comedy Club. June 12th, go see Chris Monty in the Giggle Room, or go see Chris Monty July 13th at the Brokerage in Belmore. If you're going to go see Chris on the 12th, well, then that means you're free on the 13th to come to the Giggle Room and see Saku Ali. with our friends Ivory Fields and Frank Fiala and some other great comedians. July 19th, don't forget Clash of the Islands, presented by Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Mike Picchetti is hosting. Greg and Rob, Tony Landolfi, Irene Bremis. Going to be a fun show. July 25th, our one and only Andy performing at McGuire's on July 25th as part of the Long Island Laugh-Off. He needs people to come, needs people to vote for him. So go check out Andy. Hershey and the Keegs, Mark Hirschman, Thursday, August 8th, here at Governor's in Levittown. And I'll be doing 5 minutes on that show as well. So looking forward to that. And, of course, Knockem Dead Comedy, a hilarious audience interactive murder mystery show. This is our Redneck Wedding. This is September 27th at 7 p.m. That's at the Brokerage in Belmore. The very next night, here in the Giggle Room, our Triple X Trivia Night. And then, of course, don't forget, October 5th, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast presents The Down and Outs. Claudia Sherman, Gretchen Kammer, and Nancy Parker will be opening, and I'll be hosting that one. That'll be fun. December 21st, our Redneck Wedding Murder Mystery Show will be at McGuire's in Bohemia. Go to govs.com. Make your reservations. Do some great comedy shows. And don't forget KnockemDeadComedy.com. See our full schedule and find out information on how you can hire us for your event. And last but not least, don't forget Nikki Glazer. Her second HBO special called Someday You'll Die, now streaming on Max. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody have a great day, the rest of your Wednesday. And we will see you tomorrow. And once again, have a great trip. Have a great trip. Have a great trip, pal.
Shut up.
All right, everybody have a great day. We'll see you later.